Did Ryan Reynolds really ditch Blake Lively at the premiere of Another Simple Favor to save his own career? The whispers are getting louder, and the narrative isn't looking good for Blake. Strangers might call Ryan charming, but behind the scenes, some are now describing him as extremely disloyal. The reality? Blake Lively's world is unraveling fast, and Ryan may have just jumped ship to protect himself. The chaos surrounding her has spiraled so far out of control that it's pulling everyone down with it. Ryan knew that if he stuck around any longer, his career could be the next casualty in Blake's Hollywood downfall. Both Ryan and Blake now understand that if their careers are to survive, they must be seen as separate entities. Every joint appearance would be dissected under a harsh spotlight, and they can't afford that. So, where was Ryan Reynolds when Blake Lively walked that red carpet alone? That's the question on everyone's mind. She smiled for the cameras, trying to act as if everything was fine, but the truth was written all over her face. The premiere of Another Simple Favor was supposed to be her grand moment, but instead, all anyone could talk about was the gaping Ryan Reynolds-shaped absence by her side. Insiders are now revealing the real reason Ryan left Blake alone on the red carpet, and it all boils down to money. No hand-holding photos, no power couple poses, just a glaring absence. And no, he wasn't too busy. This is a man who buys soccer teams for fun and floods Instagram with unhinged captions, yet suddenly, he's too swamped to support his wife. That doesn't add up. The media went into full meltdown mode. Was this a calculated PR move or a full-blown relationship crisis? Turns out, it was both. According to a Daily Mail insider, Ryan and Blake had already realized they couldn't continue making public appearances together if they wanted to protect their careers. Their recent SNL appearance was a test run, a way to gauge public reaction, and let's just say the results were uglier than Blake's legal strategy. Ryan's absence wasn't shocking to those paying attention. Blake was contractually obligated to be there. It was her event, her mess to clean up. And Ryan? Well, he was nowhere to be found. Remember that awkward moment at the SNL 50th anniversary special when Amy Poehler called him out with a simple, "Ryan Reynolds, how's it going?" And his immediate response was, "Why? What have you heard?" That wasn't just a joke. That was a man who saw the storm coming and braced for impact. The awkward tension, the side eyes, the barely contained discomfort, Ryan knew exactly what was coming, and he wanted out. Their SNL appearance was meant to be a reset, a fresh start in the eyes of the public. Instead, it became the moment everything shifted. Audiences weren't buying the power couple act anymore. Sure, there were cheers, likely from their PR team, but there were also boos, an undercurrent of skepticism. Fans who once adored them were now looking at them differently, seeing through the carefully crafted narrative. Blake was furious. Insiders say she was livid that Ryan wasn't playing along with her "I'm the victim" storyline. He was too relaxed, too casual, not giving her the unwavering, stand-by-your-woman energy she was counting on. She needed him to be the picture-perfect husband defending her honor, but instead, he looked like a man counting down the minutes until he could escape. Blake thrives on control. She needed Ryan to be her support system in public, a loyal prop standing by her side. But Ryan? He wasn't interested in being dragged into her chaos. After the SNL disaster, she reportedly went into full damage control mode, complaining to friends that Ryan wasn't taking her lawsuit seriously. As if it was his fault she made reckless legal decisions. Sources say she pressured him to publicly support her, to stand by her side and show Hollywood she still had influence, but Ryan wasn't biting. He knew better. Blake's career is at a crossroads. The backlash from her legal battle is threatening her future, and she's terrified of becoming Hollywood's next outcast. Ryan, on the other hand, has a stable career, major endorsements, and Deadpool 3 on the horizon. He's a financial empire in himself, and he's not about to let Blake's PR disaster sink him. He saw the writing on the wall and made a calculated move to distance himself before the situation got even worse. The decision to skip the premiere wasn't just about that one night, it was a strategic move. Ryan isn't simply avoiding a red carpet event, he's stepping back from the entire mess. And Blake knows it. That's why she's now trying to spin the narrative, pretending she's an independent, unbothered woman who doesn't need Ryan by her side. But the reality? She needs him now more than ever. And Ryan? He saw what was coming and ran. Even their solo projects will now be scrutinized. The public isn't backing down, and the frustration is palpable. Blake truly thought she had this all figured out. She filed her lawsuit against Justin Baldoni in December 2023, expecting Hollywood to rally behind her without question. She likely assumed that the moment she cried, "Me too," Baldoni would be cast into the Hollywood abyss while she emerged as a fearless feminist icon. But she didn't anticipate that he would fight back. Baldoni's counterstrike was brutal. He hit her with a $400 million countersuit that shattered her narrative in an instant. This wasn't just a celebrity feud. It became one of the biggest legal battles of the decade. Then, in February 2024, Baldoni escalated things further, filing a $250 million lawsuit against the New York Times, accusing him of publishing a pre-planned hit piece before Blake even went public with her claims. That changed everything. Suddenly, this wasn't just a legal dispute, it was a full-scale Hollywood conspiracy unraveling in real time. Then came the scandal nobody saw coming. Blake wasn't just entangled in a lawsuit, she was caught in a humiliating cheating scandal. The Golden Girl of Hollywood, the image of the perfect wife, was allegedly chasing after Baldoni for months, sending flirty messages, making embarrassing comments, and desperately trying to get his attention. And when he rejected her, she flipped the narrative, turning herself into the victim. Witnesses even claimed that Blake was the one pushing for intimate scenes, the one rewriting scripts to make them steamier. When her advances didn't work, she took a drastic step, accusing Baldoni of misconduct. Ryan stood by her at first, probably believing she was innocent. But as receipts started dropping, insiders say he was completely humiliated. Imagine fighting for your wife's honor, only to realize she was the one causing the entire mess. And Blake wasn't done embarrassing herself yet. In a last-ditch effort, she allegedly tried to frame Baldoni with a fake voicemail, a supposed apology from him. But tech experts quickly picked it apart. The metadata didn't match, the pacing sounded robotic, and words seemed stitched together from different conversations. Within days, legal experts were questioning if it was an AI deepfake. If proven, Blake wouldn't just be facing defamation lawsuits, she could be dealing with criminal charges for evidence tampering. The deeper you dig into this case, the more it starts to feel like a rejected episode of Gossip Girl. Blake miscalculated, and now she's paying the price. And Ryan? He's doing what any smart Hollywood player would, cutting ties before he gets dragged down with her. This isn't just about skipping a red carpet. It's about survival.